Welcome all you beautiful YouTube watchers. Thank you for tuning in today. I will be doing a reading on someone's deceased loved one, obviously by the title. I'm sure you guessed that. You'll want to stick around because Spirit is really dishing the dirt on this today. It's, boy, this was the fastest I've ever had anybody come in, and this person was just really adamant about their story. So stick around, but before I do that, take care of some business here. I would really appreciate if you would hit that like button, make a comment, or share this video. If you think it's not your story, but you might know who it belongs to, please share it. And every time you hit that like button, not only does it help my channel, and I'm just getting started here on YouTube, so I'm very grateful. Thank you. But it also tells the YouTube algorithm, boy, this might be some good content. Let's share it with more people. And that better helps this message get to a broader audience because it is a narrow message, and more likely will get to the family that it's meant for or loved ones. So, or in this case, maybe the police. I don't know. This is pretty interesting. I don't usually get these drama stories, y'all. I'm just saying. Once in a while, but this one is just coming in strong and coming in very, very clear. So this is going to sound like a straight up TV mystery movie, or maybe even big cinema movie, and I promise you guys I could not make this stuff up if I tried. I've got a good imagination, but not this good. Okay, so I've got a gentleman coming through today. He was rushing in as soon, because I have this process that I do before I do one of these readings where and I'm here, y'all see my hands, where I have what I call a gatekeeper, because some of you like to know my process. And I have a preparation time where I meditate and I get myself and my energy ready, and then I say to my gatekeeper, all right, now bring through whoever Spirit wants me to read today. So I mean, I had no sooner got those words out than this Spirit comes literally just rushing in, and of course appropriately, because apparently this man's profession was all about speed. And he's showing me himself in this it's a uniform, kind of like a coveralls, but with what do you call those that are stitched, embroidered patches on it, that kind of thing, or some kind of a logo, or maybe it's a company name, and he's holding a helmet. So I'm getting this distinct impression this man was some kind of a racing personality or person, or a race car driver of some sort. He's and which fits with the way that he came in, just so darn fast. Wow. But the message he wants to bring through today, all right, hold on, y'all. This is pretty good stuff. I mean, it's not for whoever's gonna have to suffer the consequences here, but I shouldn't say that. It's not good stuff at all. I want to take that back. That's not really what I mean to say, but it's just, what I mean is, gosh, what do I mean? It's just dramatic, and I don't usually go in for that kind of thing, and it's kind of surprising me that it's coming to me this way. Usually my guides bring it to me in a much more sort of calm and peaceful and spiritual way, but that's just not the energy that's coming in with this today. So it is what it is. This guy's message today is, he was murdered. Plain and simple. He said, somebody tampered with my car. And he's being fairly specific. He's actually told me brakes or something to do with the braking system. He's showing me a line like I don't know, hydraulics, if that's the right word, but a line that has fluid in it. So it could be a brake line. I know that is something that goes with brakes, but something that's in the vicinity of the brakes, and that, he's just showing me this whole, like almost as if I'm laying under the car. I'm looking up at the underneath the undercarriage of the car, but he's pointing toward where the I think it's called is it called the axle or the chassis? The axle comes across and meets the wheels. So this bar and then the wheels, and he's pointing up to where in the area where this thing comes across and is meeting like up in the body, like I guess where the brakes are. I don't really know how that works. I'm not a mechanic. But anyway, so the message he's telling me is, and so here we get into the real drama part, if that wasn't enough drama of the story. And I was going to make this a short reading, y'all. So I said, I'll just do one short reading today. Well, the Spirit always has other ideas. So he's telling me the way this story played out. There's two different, I'm going to call it levels of energy here, layers of energy. You could also say storylines. And I'm not necessarily saying it's either or. It could be both, because I keep hearing the word collusion. Collusion. And y'all, that is not a word that I use in my everyday life. Thank God I don't have to. So he's showing me or telling me this story. This, and I know this just because, you know, I've watched TV and read the news, that, and let me back up. I get the impression this man was in a arena of racing that was a little bit more higher echelon. I don't think he was just a weekend, you know, figure eight derby junk car driver that, I mean, could have been. I mean, you know, Spirit does just bring through images that I understand to get me to get the message out. But I get the feeling this guy was a little higher up and more known in his profession, let's say that. And he was a person who was very good at what he did. But he's telling me there was this competition, and that this, of course, this career path, this profession that he had, is very competitive, so I hear. But he was good at what he did, but there was this, what is the word I want to say? It's like there was, he's giving me the feeling that I felt like I always had to watch my back. That's the feeling he's giving me. There was always somebody nipping at my heels, wanting my job, or wanting to take my car, or my team, or this or that, or my sponsor. He's just saying there was all this huge pressure. Somebody was always nipping at his heels, and it was so competitive. He's saying, and so he's saying that there was an element of that involved in this story. It's almost like he's also bringing in another element of other, I don't know how to, teams, companies, sponsors maybe. There was competition. I don't know if they were competing for him as a driver, or if they were competing for his particular race car that somebody, you know, I don't know, maybe BMW made this race car, and, you know, and these companies both want, these sponsors both want to sponsor this particular car. Who knows? Again, I don't know that much about that world. But he's just showing me all these layers of competition. But let's get to the other layer, which is this. Yeah, well, and let me say, I gotta finish. He's not letting me finish. So he's saying, and he really had to pull himself back from that. He said he's making the point, it's so easy to get sucked in. More importantly, let me change that. No, not sucked in, dragged down by all of that. Manipulated, he's saying, by all of that. That world, he's saying it's kind of like being in Hollywood, I guess, although he's not claiming to have been in Hollywood, but he's saying it's like it's a machine in and of itself, and it has its own life kind of thing, and, you know, it's really a sink or swim, and it's not easy to navigate through that world. So I don't know if that's true or not. Somebody out there may know, somebody who works in that industry, and you can let me know. But he's also saying that you had to watch, I don't know, there's just, again, he's just saying there was competition and bickering, and everybody was, there was just this, again, constant pressure. But getting on down here, and I got most of this message, frankly, without even these cards. The cards are kind of paint a picture for you more than they do for me oftentimes, but it feels occasionally fill in some gaps. But now what he's bringing me strongly to is the story about who is behind this. So I keep coming back to that word collusion. He's telling me that there was a woman that was the principle behind his death. He's pointing very strongly at this. Now, I get the feeling this was someone that at some point he was romantically involved with, but that's not an absolute. I don't know if this meant it was his wife or a fiance or just someone that he was involved with, but there was money involved in this. I'm going to call it a partnership that he had with this woman. Whatever relationship or partnership he had with this woman, there was money involved and money at stake. And he's saying that he tried to work on this relationship, whatever that was, the nature of this relationship, and then he'd had enough. He said he'd had enough and he walked away. He just couldn't, he tried to break it off, apparently, and he's also telling me that there was some kind of addiction. She may have been, I don't know, she may have been an alcoholic. She could have been, there was maybe potentially drugs involved with this. They actually tried to tell, and I don't know if this is public news or not, if I ever find out who this might have been. He's saying they tried to say that he used drugs, that he was not, or that rather he was impaired, which caused an accident when his car crashed. He's saying it's not true. It absolutely is not true. He was, no, wait, having me take that back. He's saying he was confused. Okay, which are you saying? All right. He's saying I was confused, and I'm not sure if that was because they gave me something or just because I was so stressed out. He said, I didn't feel drugged. I don't believe that's what it was. But there was suspicion of that apparently around this accident. So now we're coming back. Oh, that's interesting. He's saying actually somebody tried to give him something and he refused it. Okay. So I don't know if that was specifically right before this accident or that was just in general. I'm not certain about that. But there was just like a certain way of doing things, and he wanted to make changes, and the powers that be were not going to have it. And he's saying that could have been, he was very restricted in his situation, was very restricted. That there were things he wanted to do differently. They wouldn't let him. He felt chained to this situation. He was trying to get out of it, or maybe had decided to get out of it. And then somehow this accident happened that caused his death. How did I do? Did I get that right? He's saying close enough. Keep going. Okay. Because whoever colluded to make this happen, that ended up a chain of events happening that caused this accident, and I guess I didn't say that specifically, there was a car crash is how he died. They thought that was going to be the end all, be all, do all, that was going to solve this problem, and anyway. And so that's why this collusion took place. But apparently I want to be clear I'm getting this message correctly. I keep seeing somebody walked away. Now I know I said he was trying to walk away, but he was trying to walk away to calmer waters, yes, but it also feels like he was, not just the situation, there was somebody, a personal relationship he was also trying to walk away from. I think he told this person he was done and was leaving, and that's what pulled the trigger on this situation. Divine intervention. He was trying to find balance in his life, And he's telling me, because he wasn't apparently a particularly religious or maybe even spiritual man, but he said, but he had sought higher power in his own heart to try to get him out of this situation, to try to resolve the situation, to try to find balance in the situation. And then that's when the tower came down, the tower meaning his accident. And he's saying, the reason I'm coming through today is I'm trying to, I want people to learn what really happened. And he's bringing me back. He's bringing me back to this. There was a love interest. There was a love interest, and he wants judgment. He wants. This, I know this card can mean a number of things. It can be, maybe this person wanted to reconcile with him. I think that is the secondary message here. But he's saying he wanted judgment, and yeah, and then again, I think this person that he walked away from wanted reconciliation with him because he had turned their world upside down. He'd made a different choice to go in a different direction. Yeah, and because there was all this behind the scenes secrets and stuff, and there you go, and there's confirmation with this Empress, with this woman, whoever she was. Yeah, and then he just couldn't take it anymore. He just couldn't take it anymore. Oh goodness, I could just go on. Yeah, well, actually, and I will. He couldn't take it anymore. He was too stressed out. He wanted, this is a tip, oftentimes can be a past, like reminiscing, nostalgia. And I believe this is the other person that he was involved with was nostalgic toward him and wanted to start over, wanted a new beginning with him. And that didn't happen. This did not happen. He walked away clean and there to his wish fulfillment. Boy, the cards are really speaking today. He walked away toward his wish fulfillment. Yes, and to get a new perspective on this situation. Yeah, there it is again. Just cards are just time and time again backing this story up. He walked away. Yep, he walked away to find his own happiness, to wish fulfillment, because there was no love in this situation. Yep, he wanted to find his own wishes with someone that would give him the love that he wanted. This woman, he did not feel the love with her. And that is what happened. Yeah, he got stabbed in the back, essentially. Wow. Okay, well that was... let me ask if there's anything else, Spirit. Oh, he's giving me a thumbs up. He's saying that'll do. Now, of course, I always, maybe you don't know this, but when I get a message, anything like this that's somewhat unresolved or that's trying to get an important message across to, I don't know if they ruled his death an accident or if this, I don't know how recent this happened. I'm not getting a sense of any of that. So if you know something about it, again, please share it or comment and get this to whoever needs to hear it and see it. If not that they're going to believe a psychic medium on YouTube, but who knows? You never know. Things happen. But this is just a real clear-cut message for me today. And if you've stayed this long, I'd like you to also know, because I like to share a little bit of this. I think people are somewhat curious. These the people that come through for me that are angry or troubled, you don't see me deal with this so much on camera. I give the story and I click off, and then I talk to this person, and I often, if they are like in unrest, I will help them cross over and get to their place of peace. But the reason I'm sharing that is that is not necessary. All this man wanted was to deliver this message. I don't feel that he's necessarily a soul who is wandering or lost or something like that, or trapped. I think he just wanted to stay here to deliver the message and to get this truth out. So he wanted me to finish with that. Okay, everybody, thank you again for watching. Please hit that like button or make a comment or share this video again. Again, I'm trying to get started here on YouTube, and that really helps me and also helps get the message out to who it's meant for. So thank you all for watching. I wish you many, many blessings, and I'll be back soon. Thank you. Take care.